Working the night shift at a gas station in the middle of nowhere wasn't exactly Eric's dream job, but it paid the bills. The place was old, run down, and the fluorescent lights buzzed so loudly that silence almost felt like a luxury. Located on a lonely stretch of highway in Texas, it was the kind of gas station where travelers only stopped if they were desperate. During the day, business was slow. But at night, it was a ghost town. That was fine with Eric, until the strange things started happening. Night 1. The Callet was 3:14 a.m. when the gas station phone rang. Eric nearly jumped. No one ever called this late. He picked it up, expecting maybe a lost trucker or a prank call. At first, all he heard was static. Then, a faint whispering voice. "Are the back doors open?" Eric froze. His gaze shot toward the back door, still locked. "Who is this?" he asked. The voice didn't answer. It just kept whispering. Something he couldn't quite make out. Like a radio tuned between stations. Then, click. The call ended. Eric checked the security feed. Nothing unusual. Just the flickering neon sign outside and the empty parking lot. He tried to shake it off. Just some weirdo messing around. But then he noticed something else. The security camera feed from the back alley was blacked out, like something was standing too close to the camera. Night 2. The van around. 2:30 a.m. Headlights appeared down the empty highway. A beat-up, rust-covered van pulled into the station. It sat at pump number 3, engine running, lights on, but no one got out. 5 minutes passed, then 10. Eric leaned forward, trying to see inside through the fogged-up windshield. Nothing. Just darkness. Then, slowly, the driver's side door opened. A man stepped out. He wore a long, tattered coat, his face hidden in the shadow of his hood. Didn't pump gas. He didn't come inside. He just stood there, watching. Eric swallowed hard. "Can I help you?" The man didn't answer. Instead, he reached into his coat and pulled out a notebook. He flipped it open, turned it toward Eric, and held it up against the glass. Scrawled in shaky, uneven handwriting were 4 words. "I know you heard." Eric's blood ran cold. He looked up. The man was gone. The van? Still there. Engine still running. But the driver's seat was empty. Night 3. The thing at the door, Eric was done. He called his boss and begged for a shift change. Anything to get him out of here. His boss laughed it off, told him he was just tired. Night shifts mess with your head. That night at exactly 3:14 a.m., the phone rang again. He let it ring. But on the 5th ring, something knocked on the glass. Slow. Deliberate. Eric's heart pounded as he turned toward the front door. A figure stood on the other side, dressed in black, its face completely obscured. It didn't move, didn't breathe, just stood there. Then, knock, knock. A deep, rhythmic knocking. Eric's hand hovered over the panic button under the counter. The lights above flickered, and in that moment, he saw it. The thing wasn't standing outside. It was standing inside, right behind him. Night 4. The van returns. Eric didn't sleep that day. He spent the whole afternoon searching online, trying to make sense of what was happening. Ghost stories, urban legends, missing persons cases along this stretch of highway. One article caught his attention. Mysterious disappearances at gas station 46B. Apparently, 5 years ago, a clerk went missing from this very store. Left all his stuff behind. Car, phone, wallet, just vanished. No security footage, no clues. Eric slammed his laptop shut. He had to get out of here. But his shift wasn't over yet. That night, the van came back. Same rusty exterior. Same fogged up windows, but this time something was different. The back doors were wide open. A low, wet breathing sound echoed from inside. Eric gripped the bat behind the counter. Then his phone buzzed. A text from a number he didn't recognize. Look at the back door. His stomach turned to ice. He turned just in time to see the handle turn. The door was unlocking. From the inside, the final night, nowhere. Left to run, Eric was already moving before the door fully opened. He sprinted to the front, slammed the emergency shutter button. The metal security gate crashed down, sealing the station shut. Outside, the van's back doors creaked wider. A shape crawled out. Not a man. Too tall. Too thin. Too many joints bending the wrong way. Eric stumbled backward. His breath came fast and shallow. The security cameras cut out. The overhead lights buzzed violently. Then, darkness. The only sound was the slow, deliberate tapping of fingernails against the metal security gate. Click, click, click. A voice, raspy and broken, drifted through the shutters. You should not have listened. The air turned heavy, thick like a nightmare pressing against his chest. And then, silence. The aftermath. Eric doesn't remember what happened next. He woke up in the back office. The clock read 8:02 a.m. The security gate was still down. The van was gone. Everything looked normal. Except for one thing. The notebook was sitting on the counter. Open to a fresh page. A new message written in the same shaky hand. See you soon. Eric quit that day. He never drove down that highway again. But sometimes, late at night, he swears he hears the phone ringing, and he never, ever picks